Hey there, and welcome back to By His Grace Marriage Ministry Podcast. My name is Amanda. Shabbat Shalom to those of you that keep the Sabbath. I pray that you are having a very blessed and restful Sabbath. I know I am, and I couldn't wait for today. It was such a busy week today, such a crazy busy week today, but it was a blessed week as well. And again, especially after just coming out of the 3 feast days that we just celebrated. It was a busy week, but it was blessed, and I was definitely looking forward to today. So I'm actually coming on. I usually don't come on to publish episodes on the Sabbath. Not that it's considered work, because it's ministry and related to His Word. But I typically, when I rest, I just kind of rest from everything, including the ministry. But I have a prayer request and an update that I would like to share with all of you, because I've shared some things with you all a few weeks ago, right before I went on my 3-week break, and just kind of want to give an update and share a prayer request that if you all feel led, if you could please pray concerning these things, I would absolutely appreciate it from my heart. Before I get into that, I just want to share a quick thing. I was kind of laughing a bit because I recently published a 2-part topic or episodes. There are 2 episodes that are about one topic, part 1 and part 2. And it was funny because I was just talking about how, listen to the episodes however you want, whatever order you want to listen to them. I'm not trying to tell you how to do that, but if you see that it's a series or that they're in parts, you might want to listen to them in order, because the way that the podcast platform shows the episodes, it starts from the most recent and then it goes down. So if you're new or just starting to listen to these episodes and you want to start at the beginning, because they are in chronological order. They go by seasons and episodes. There's 5 seasons, and each season has on average, about 20 episodes. So if you want to listen to them that way, then start at the beginning, but you're going to have to scroll all the way down. But I'm kind of laughing because I just recently did an episode called Guarding Your Purity Part 1 and then Guarding Your Purity Part 2. And I don't know why, but everybody that's listened to part 2. Nobody's listened to part 1 yet. And I thought, that's interesting. That's the first time that I see that. Usually when I do a series or an episode in parts like that, usually they have equal amounts, because I can see the statistics. I can see how many plays, and whether you're male or female, but that's it. I can't see anything else. I don't know who you all are unless you reach out to me via email and let me know who you are. But I just thought that was really interesting that y'all listened to part 2, not part 1. Go listen to part 1. I mean, thank you for listening to part 2, but go listen to part 1. And part 2 was a really difficult episode for me to share, because I shared some really personal things that I'm not proud of. So that was really, really difficult for me to share. And I know that none of my audience has ever been this way, but I just have to share it in case anybody new comes on. Please, 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 y'all, please don't come at me in emails or comments or anything. Well, I don't know if you can comment on these episodes, but just please don't come at me, judging me or, saying anything mean, because of my past. Okay. We've all had a past. We've all fallen short. We've all made mistakes. And I think those that can actually overcome them, repent, turn away from them, and then turn around and share them to help others, I think that's really brave, and it's what's needed. Excuse me. It's what's needed. So, I just pray, and it's not the first time that I've shared some, personal things, but it's the first time I've shared personal things that are not really good. Okay. So I just ask that you all please be nice. Please don't judge, and just take it as the Ruach reveals it to you, I guess. If it concerns you, and if not, then that's okay too. Share it with somebody that maybe it could help. I don't know. So anyways, I just wanted to share that real quick. Now I'm going to go into the update and prayer requests that I have. And again, this is kind of me just laying it all out there and sharing what's going on in my personal life. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I believe that when two or more are gathered and pray concerning a certain person or situation, Yahuwah hears those prayers. And so I am stepping out of my comfort zone, and I am reaching out to as many as I can for prayers at this time. So for those of you who haven't listened to the episodes where I was sharing about some trials that I was facing and prayer requests and updating things like that. So I live in the state of Colorado. It's a beautiful state. It's home for me. I grew up out here. I wasn't born here, but I grew up out here. It's a fantastic state, but it's become just too much. It's become really expensive here. I mean, ridiculously expensive. Now I know that all over the world, we're experiencing these things, thanks to the pandemic, thanks to inflation and all that. But Colorado, even before the pandemic hit, I feel like Colorado was just really becoming a very expensive state to live in. And it's partly because Colorado was one of two states that first legalized marijuana, began selling it. We became a rich state. And granted, they use all that money for construction, schools, things like that. But we also, when that happened, a lot of people moved out here too, and our population just boomed, just really crazy. We used to be like Wyoming and Montana and states like that. Now we're like a California. There's a lot of people out here. It's become very congested. Colorado is building like crazy. Unless you go out east or down south far enough, we're so congested and so built up, and it's just, I really don't like that weed is legalized here and it's everywhere, and just how expensive it's become. It's crazy, and I really just feel in my heart and in my spirit that it's time to go. Again, as much as it's a beautiful state, I never get tired of admiring how beautiful this place is, the mountains. There's a lot of outdoor things to do and stuff like that, which I can appreciate, but I just feel like it's time to move on. And we've been blessed because where we live, it's nice, and praise Yah, our rent hasn't gone up much. But I'll give you an example of the cost of living, how crazy it is here. So there are apartments that are next door to us, and I have seen them because I had a friend that lived there, and so when I would visit her, I would get to see inside of her apartment. 1-bedroom apartment, and it's smaller than where we live. And it's nice, but it's not like wow factor. But anyways, I found out recently that a 1-bedroom apartment there is $1,600. I think $1,635, and that's no utilities included. And I thought, oh my goodness. And I don't pay anywhere near that, praise Yah, but I just thought for a 1-bedroom apartment, $1,600. And I just started thinking about how, for example, in the state of Missouri, because I lived out there before I came here in 2017, I lived in Missouri almost 5 years. I was there from 2012 or 13 to 2017. And I remember you can get a house for way less than that. You can rent a house for way less than that. Now, it's probably gone up some because it's been almost 6 years, but it's still nowhere near how expensive the state of Colorado is. And I'll be honest with you, I just feel Yahuwah calling me to a more, easygoing living, more simple living, not as fast paced, not so congested, not where, marijuana is legalized and, just all these things. I just truly feel I loved the state of Missouri. Not only is it a great state to homestead in and things like that, if you are called to live that type of life, it's got good land. Again, their cost of living is affordable. They have everything out there. It's a beautiful state. There's no mountains, but they have other things as well. I really did enjoy that state very, very much. And I have just been really feeling strongly a pull to go back there. I really, really do. And so that's the update, that I don't think that we're going to be able to make it out here anymore. I really, really don't. And that's what I was talking about before my break in the last episodes where I talked about this. I just really don't see it happening at this point. Now, of course, we've been praying about it. Of course, whatever is Yahuwah's will, that's what we want to follow. That's exactly what I want to do. I want whatever He wants for me and for us and for the future of my family. And it's tough too, because I've got a high schooler, that wants to stay, in where he's at. And so I might even have to make arrangements for him to stay with family members until he finishes. But I just feel like Colorado is just, that chapter is over. I really, really do. And so the update is, it's looking like I'm probably going to end up leaving Colorado. And, I'm kind of torn because I've moved all my life. I've moved so much. Like, you would have thought I was in the Navy or something, to where my family just had to move every couple of years. That's not the case. It's just how it was. And then when I became an adult and became a single mom, I moved a lot because I would go wherever I could try to make ends meet by myself. So I've been praying to Yahuwah that, by the time I had more children, that I would be somewhere where I could, be, rooted down, plant roots and just stay there, so that these children have a stable life and not move so much, unless Yahuwah calls us into that type of ministry where we're moving all the time, we're traveling a lot. Okay. And if that's the case, that's fine. But I'm tired of moving, though. I've been moving all my life, and I've been here. Let's see, I got here in 2017, September 2017. We're in 2023, so it's been a while. And I honestly thought this is where I was going to finally stay. I really did. But it's looking like that's not the case. And but I'm tired of Colorado, so I do want to go. But at the same time, I'm like, man, here we go again, starting all over again, and uprooting and going somewhere else, and then having to plant those roots again. And yeah, I'm just. But I guess if it has to happen, I'd rather it be now, before other things come along, So that's the update, and it looks like it's going to be Missouri. It looks like that's what's going to happen. Will I miss Colorado? Yeah, I will. It's a beautiful state. I have some memories here. My family's here, but to be honest with you, my family and I, we're not too close, and I always felt that being at a distance with my family specifically was always better. So things will be a little bit different because my son will probably stay so he can finish school and stuff like that. So that'll be hard too, but I want to be obedient to whatever it is that Yahuwah is calling us to. And I just want to be where He wants me to be, and I want to be doing what He wants me to be doing. I want to be just in His will for my life, whatever that is. Every day I pray and I ask Him to just prepare me for what He has and what's to come. So, but it's looking like Missouri because I've lived out there before. I'm familiar with it. I did like it a lot, and that just seems to be the logical choice right now. Thought about Texas. I've actually never been to Texas. I have family out there. I have a few family members out there. I think Texas cost of living is a little more affordable compared to here. And it's funny because a lot of people from Texas moved to Colorado. I don't know why, but there was this season where everybody from Texas moved out here. It was what's going on? And I'm over here trying to leave Colorado, and I would go to Texas. Texas is such a big state, and I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go visit Texas and just check it out. I love everything about Texas. I love Southern people. I think they're amazing people. Just really sweet and kind people, and I just everything about Texas. I would not mind living there at all, but I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it, so we got to go where we're a little more familiar. But like I said, wherever y'all leads us, we'll go. But it's looking like it's going to be Missouri. So, because I was like, it was either going to be Texas or Missouri. It was going to be one of those two. It's looking like it'll probably be Missouri. So, the prayer request is if you can just please pray first and foremost that Yahuwah's will be done in the situation. Number 2, if it is that we are to move, just ask that you would pray for strength, for understanding, for wisdom concerning these things, that he makes a way, that the provision that's needed is provided. And because that's the other problem, is that in the area of provision right now, it's lacking. And I'm so thankful to all of you, because a lot of you that have been a part of this ministry, that have just been listening to these episodes, you all have, or some of you have donated. Some of you have Cash Apped me. Some of you have donated in the link provided. Some of you have reached out via email and was like, hey, would love to help you with this. I have received gifts in the mail, books, food, clothing, just all kinds of things that I'm just like, herbal medicines, essential oils, and just really been such a blessing. It's, our fellowship is in Missouri too, which is another reason why I really want to go. They are near Lebanon, Missouri. When I lived out there, I lived in the St. Robert and Waynesville area, which was right outside Fort Leonard Wood, which was an army base. But I've been to Lebanon and I'm familiar with it. And so that's another reason why I want to go, because our fellowship is out there. A lot of them all live out there, and just would love to physically be a part of their fellowship. But I'm so blessed, because between the fellowship, between some of you that are following this ministry, and just other friends, and wow, what a blessing, and the financial blessings has just been wow. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm not ashamed to admit it. We are struggling financially. We are, but yet Yahuwah has provided all of our needs, like I've talked about before. So many people are like, oh, but you need to get the job so you can keep the job and provide for your family, and you got to do this and that. And it's like, no, I'm not going to be disobedient to Yahuwah and his word and what I know is not from him. And when we do that, he does provide all of our needs. The scripture says he will, and he does. Even though we're still struggling, but maybe Yahuwah is allowing that struggling because it's the only way we're going to go. That's just how he works sometimes. And the financial support that some of you on here, and brothers and sisters, and in our fellowship and things like that has been given to us has literally made me cry. It has literally made me cry. I just, I'm going to share this real quick because it's so beautiful. I had a brother and sister, and this is a family, and I'm not going to say their names, because out of respect for privacy and whatnot. And I haven't asked them if I could, share this on my ministry, or just even, share who they are. But wonderful, beautiful people. They're a husband and wife. They also have a growing family. They have 2 kids, and I believe they just had another child. And I think it was in December or January. And they had heard about what was going on. And they just messaged me and said, hey, what do you have? Do you have Cash App? Do you have Venmo? Do you have Zelle, PayPal? What do you have? And I said, no, we just have Cash App. And they said, all right. And I think just a couple hours later, I got a notification. They had sent $700. I literally cried when I saw that, because that went to our rent. We needed it. Just due to circumstances that were going on at the time. And they are a growing family. that at the time themselves didn't even know where they were going to end up. Not only is that them having faith in Yahuwah, but that is them showing love and just kindness and caring and compassion. I mean, I was beyond words, and I remember just crying, and I remember thanking Yahuwah, and I remember reaching out to them and just saying, I really have no words, but thank you so much, and may Yahuwah bless you and your family abundantly. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. And, ever since then too, I've had other situations where brothers and sisters have come forward and they're like, hey sister, hey brother, we want to help you all out. We would like to do this for you. We would like to do that for you. I love to always testify of Yahuwah's goodness and his mercy. His mercies are new every morning. He loves us and he cares for us. And the Torah tells us, scripture tells us that when we follow his ways, when we are obedient to his ways, and when we do our very best, and he knows how much we love him, he will provide for us. He will make a way. He will bless us. And I've seen that over and over and over, especially this year and last year. And I'm beyond words. And I think I shared this last time where I was just saying thank you to everyone that has reached out and helped one way or another. The gifts and blessings that we have received has just been incredible. And to be honest with you, I feel so undeserving. I really do. I feel so undeserving, but yet I'm so thankful. I really, really am. So, and thank you for those of you on here that have helped as well. And especially the prayers. If you can continue to pray for me and my family, I would be so, so thankful. And thank you that while I was on my 3-week break, some of you reached out via email just to see how things were and to let me know that you're still praying. And I really, really appreciate that from the heart so, so much. I really, really do. So if it's in Yahuwah's will and all goes accordingly and that's what needs to happen, it's looking like by the summertime, I'll probably be leaving Colorado. Again, if it's Yahuwah's will and if all goes accordingly, I will keep you all updated. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be releasing more episodes or not. I shared a couple things after coming back from the break. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like I really need to focus on what is the next chapter of my life and what's going to be taking place. So, unless the Ruach just leads me to share other things in between, then I will absolutely be obedient to that and I will do that. And if not, then there may be, another break going on or something like that. So, but either way, whether I share more topics or not, I will come back and I will give an update, because if I do end up moving, it's going to be a while before I can get back on the ministry, on the podcast and start recording regularly again, until things, I guess, get settled. So we will see what happens, in Yahushua's name. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and give a quick update and prayer request. If y'all could please pray, I would just be so, so thankful. And again, I can't say it enough. Thank you all so much for everything. And I really mean that, for everything. On behalf of me and my family, we're just so thankful. We really, really are. Thankful for this ministry. Thankful for, even if this is it, thankful for the opportunity to have been able to have this podcast ministry and just share and hopefully encourage and edify others for however long that is. So, all right, I'm gonna get going now before I get emotional and start crying. I don't want to do that. Just thank y'all so much. And I will be back with either other words to share or other updates. We'll see how it goes. And guys, go listen to part 1. I can't understand that. Go listen to part 1 of the recent episode that I just released. And please, 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 brothers and sisters, feel free to email me at any time and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Whether you have questions, concerns, prayer requests, you need counsel, anything like that, I'm still offering all of that. And it's all free of charge, guys. I'm not going to charge you like a lot of other people do. That's not what I'm about. Even though we are in a financial hardship, I'm not going to charge you all. If you feel led to make a donation or, just say, hey, I feel in my heart to do this. Here you go. That's different. And I thank you from my heart. But I would never charge you to speak with me or to get counsel or anything like that. So just thought I probably should have clarified that a long time ago. But yeah, so now you all know. So reach out to me. I would love to hear from you all. I really, really would. I love talking with all of you and just sharing things and talking about Yah and His Word and giving counsel and advice and praying. I love to do that for people. So definitely reach out. I would love to hear from you all. There's a lot of you I haven't heard from what I see on the statistics. There's not really many of you that I've heard from. So would love to hear from you at least once, even if it's just a hey. That would be wonderful. So, all right, that is it. Thank you all so much for listening. For those of you, again, who keep the Sabbath, I pray you have a blessed rest of your Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom. I will talk to you all next time. Love you all. Shalom.